Hi, Ann Cornick from Paint and Porcelain Exchange. I'm here to help beginners get started in China paint, but also for those of you that have been painting a while, hope you will also join us in painting. And today, we're going to be working on our dogwood. Now, this is my first fire on my dogwood from last time that we got together. And what we're going to be going for is more of this look with the shading. And that's mainly what we're going to be working on, is shading and kind of connecting the leaves to the stems. So first, this is the first fire. Today for the colors, we're going to be using basically the same colors we used last time. There's dogwood, there's a yellow, like a mixing yellow. I have a yellow green here. I don't know that we'll be using the bright green or the yellow this time too much. We're mainly going to be using a darker green, which I have as dark green. Also the green here that's kind of a grass green. This is a rich brown. And you can either use cobalt, which is what I have here, or you can use Copenhagen. And either one will work for you. So either one of those will work just fine. We're just putting the shading on and some of the highlighting on, so I don't really think that it's going to take very long to do this at all. Yeah, we're going to be using the same as last time. This is a 1/4 inch brush. I have a liner. I have a pointer, which is this one. And then I also have a very fine brush, which is a 00. I'm going to start out by doing my main flower here. Now, this is going to be a little strange. I'm going to side load with the dogwood, and I'm also going to side load with the cobalt. I want kind of a purpley color on here, and so I'm going to, as we did on the other side, I'm going to go from the middle up. And I'm making those lines. I think they're a little more prominent this time. You should be able to see them a little better. Now that's a little overly blue, I can tell. So I'm going to just go and lightly brush it up like that. I don't want it quite that blue. So I'm going to put a little more pink on my brush and pull that blue down. There we go. And because this is a turnover, I'm going to put a little bit of the blue and the pink on the outside of this. And then I'm going to take my, let me get a little more there. There we go. And then I'm going to take my Picopaint and just sort of flip it. So it's flipped. Okay. Now we'll see. As we go along, you may see that I temper my blue. It's not quite so blue. I don't always add pink to it because some places, now here it needs a little pink. There are 4 petals on a dogwood. And so here it needs a little pink. So I'm just, because this is the side that the light is coming from. So this I want to do in the pink, not so much the blue. And I'm doing the outer edge of the petal. Okay. And here I'm going to wipe that back a little now. And you'll see I get the effect that I actually wanted there. Okay. Now, I'm going to put a little blue on my brush because I think I want a little blue right here and right here. Not quite that much. And it might be because I'm using the cobalt, that it's a little, my cobalt is very bright, so that's part of it. Okay, now remember, when you want to smooth things, you can go the opposite direction that you applied the paint. So if you apply the paint this way, you smooth going this way. Okay, and I'm going to turn it again and go up here and catch this one up here. And I'm just going to put it on the edge of of the dogwood. That's what gives the white in the center, and that's what I didn't do the first time I did this. Now I'm adding a little bit of blue to my brush, just on the corner side there, just to give me a little bit of shading. And then on this side, it's going to be a little blue down here. Then I'm going to pat it off so it's not quite so prominent. And I'm just going to add my side load of pink to the rest of this. And that's how we get the flower. So there you see the flower the way it should be. Oops, I think I want this guy to be a little taller up there. There. Okay. So now I'm going to do the same thing going on to my other flowers, but before I do, I'm just going to finish the center of this out. I want it to look more like this one does here. And so I'm going to take my pointer, and I'm going to pick up a regular green and a deeper green, and I'm just going to sort of go under some of these so that we get, I think I need a brighter green here. I want it to be bright green here. Okay, so I'm going to take my darker green. I have dark green here, and I'm just going to put it under wherever I think I need a little shadow, okay? All right, then I'm going to take my pointer. I'm going to dip it in yellow and yellow-green. I didn't think we'd use these colors, but I think I kind of need to. And we're going to wipe them out. There we go. And I think that that gives us a little better look to the center. I don't want to, I want more highlights, and I'm having trouble getting highlights in here. Okay, when that happens, I do something that's kind of rogue. I'm going to pull over some white from my, and this is Snow White. I have a very pretty Snow White. And you can see it right there. I just put it on. And I'm just going to take and use my smallest brush, and because I can't get these little, I want a little bit of, highlight there. So I'm just going to do it with this. There we go. And then I'm just going to blend it in just lightly. And this is something you can do at any time. White will give you a little more lift in the middle if you are having trouble. And I think it does help. It will fire out considerably, so don't panic if you put it on a little too dark and you think, oh my God, I don't want it that dark. Leave it. It'll fire out, and you won't have that problem. Okay, I'm going to finish this end and this end here of the branch. We'll get that going here. I'm going to pick up some of my rich brown. I'm going to add just a little yellow to it. I want it to be, oops, I'm going to have to hit a little bit more here. I got a hair on it. Hang on here. Pull it off. Okay. I'm going to get it here, under there, a little there, a little there, a little there, and a little there. Okay. And that's going to help give you a little depth. Oops, here too. Add a little more rich brown. There we go. And be a little choppy. You can afford to be a little choppy now. You want it to look more textured. You want it to look more like a branch, less like a little stick. And I'm going to add a little thing here because I think that looked kind of odd. Oops, I've got too much oil in there. Let me get the oil out. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to here. And I'm I'm just going to do the same thing here. I can come down. So just keep it a little choppy, a little broken up. Only do one side of the branch if you can do that. It'll kind of help to give it a little depth. If that doesn't work for you, that's why the Paintnporcelain was invented, I swear, was to get some of these places where we're not always the best at getting them. Just keep wiping it off and then just wipe a little here and there, and it'll give you the kind of texture that you want. The other place you might want to add a little bit of color is right in the center here. Oh, hang on. I'm using Dogwood, and I'm just choop, choop. You just want to pull it out a tad. Remember, we left the white in the middle, and that's all well and fine, but one of the problems you have is defining the petal down that far if it's all white. And then go through and sort of either use your brush, that might work better, yes. Use your brush to sort of soften those lines a little bit if they're too harsh. And that'll give you that little separation between the petals. And that's kind of what you're looking for. Okay, now we're going to do our little guys here. These were just the suggestion of growth. I'm just going to do those. I'm just going to do a little bit of dark at the base with the dark green. Okay. And then I'm going to get myself a small brush. I think this will work. This is like a number 2. Not really sure what size it is. And we're going to take a little bit of the light green and full load. So this is a full load. I know a lot of you know this, but this is a full load. This is a half load, just a little C into the load. And we're going to just put a little on here. Nope, need a little more here. I'm going to use the brighter green on this side. There we go. And then I'm going to add the darker green. And add the darker green on this side and at the base. And I'm going to come up here and add a little bit of the, or not, I'll add a lot of it. Here we go. There we go. When that happens and you get outside the area you want to be in, just use an eraser or use a stump. A stump also works miracles if you need a. This is a stump. It's a cardboard, rolled cardboard, and it works just as well. And it will do the same job for you. It will lift the paint. The thing I like about the stump is it doesn't leave any residue. We're going to continue on now. If you want, you can use your liner and just put a little bit of a suggestion of a vein up the middle. You don't have to, but you can. And if you do it too dark, like I did a little dark there, then just correct it with your eraser or your stump. Okay, so now we're moving on to these little guys over here. I'm going to start with the pink because the pink is the hardest to control. After that, it's like no big deal. And I'm just going to flip it because I want it to look like this side. So we're going to work on this guy. That's him right there. He doesn't look like it, does he? No. So we're going to start out with the pink and a side load of the pink. Take it right from the base and then pull it up. Take it down. Okay. The idea is you want to leave that light in there so that it looks like it's, and I'm using a little blue now, just like I did down below for shadow, cobalt, so that it looks like it's kind of glowing in the middle. That's sort of the way, if you ever looked at the dogwood, you would see that they do kind of glow there. So I added that guy there. And this one here, I'm going to add from the bottom a little and then up at the top. I just want to separate it a little bit. And then this guy's across the bottom and he's kind of flipped down. So I'm just going to reinforce him. There we go. And this guy's going to have a little more blue on him. Oh. And this guy's going to have a little blue right here. Oh, too much. When you add the blue, you have to be very gentle. You're just going to add it where it needs it. Just to give it a little bit of shading. It's not overt. You don't want it to be so obvious that it's blue. You almost want people to think it's just a variation in color on the flower itself. This one's still a little there. Pull it down this way. I'm just going to plop the dark green around the outside here and a little bit on the inside, not a lot. Then I'm going to take my little tiny itty bitty brush and do a little green and a little yellow and just do these little guys in here. I think I get this guy a little better there. There. And then I'm going to take a little white like I did down below and just add it there. Not quite so much. There we are. Let me add a little more white down here. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to go down and using my little number 2 brush, I'm going to load it, full load of the medium green, and then I'll put the dark green on. And I'm going to do the base of these leaves. And then I will do the top of these leaves. They are just like rose leaves when they're tiny like this. And then if you want to, you can take a little bit of dark green and just do a little, oh. I have to roll my brush in order to get a nice little point on it. Just put a little bit of a suggestion of a center. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to my liner. And I'm just going to add some brown. And go up in there a little more. I think I'll separate these guys a little there. And just make it choppy coming down. That's the whole idea. Make it choppy. These, if you have ever seen these, they're very almost disjointed looking flowers. They're really unusual. Okay. And then I'm going to come down to this little guy here. We'll do him. Oops, got brown on my brush. Don't know where that came from. Okay. And we're going to put a little bit of the pink on, and we'll just do this guy here. Oh, he's a little heavy. Just turn your brush over if you ever have a problem like that, and just lift the paint. That usually will help a little, and then you can go back and correct it. Here I need to really pull it down from up above. There we go. Okay. I'm getting outside the thing. There we are. Okay, and over here I'm going to do this. And then over here I'm going to do this one. Now you may not even be able to see what you had there before, and that a lot of times is because of the way it fires out. And up here, I forgot to do the, I think I want a little, well, I've got a little separation there with the blue, so I think I'm comfortable. I just tap it there, tap it here. Maybe tap it there. Okay. And then here, putting those little lines in it. And you can do it down here after the fact. Just have a little pink on your brush and just pull from the center out. And that will create those little lines that you see on the petals. There we go. Okay. And this little guy down here, I'm just going to do a little bit of the bright green. I'm not going to do a whole lot. He's kind of off the beaten path. And we're just going to do a little bit of the circles there. I'm not really going to add the white, maybe one little white here, there. Then I'm going to go back and pick up the pink and sort of elongate that leaf so that it actually, that petal, so that it actually goes into the center. See here how it didn't go into the center? And I'm pulling that down into the center now. There we go. Now it looks like it should. You can also use your Pico-Pay if you need to make some circles. That does a real good job of making those circles for you. Okay. Alrighty, we've got another guy up here. And see, now this is this side. This is this side. It's going to fire much differently. Do you see how that pink turns the blue turns the pink a little purple? It's really pretty. I really like it. So I think you'll like the outcome especially if you use the cobalt. Okay, this is another one of those that comes off the center like this. You're seeing the side of the petal. And the same with the side. We're seeing the side of the petal. Got to make this one a little cleaner here. There we go. And then we've got two up here. We've got one here and one here. And you just want to do the outside edge. And then if you take a little bit of blue and put on there, you can separate them. Oh, let me get a little more blue. Here we go. You can separate them with the blue a little bit. Flip your brush over and just, that will also give you some definition down at the bottom. Let's do this one a little more blue. There we go. A little blue here. There. Probably should add a little blue here. I haven't done that. Okay. And then I'll just, there we go. And we'll do this guy in the middle here. Light and dark green. And then I'm just going to wipe these out. I don't need to do anything too spectacular with these because they're not the focus of the flower, of the vase. Okay. And just, you can keep playing. You know, if you think something needs a little more something, just keep playing with it till you get it the way you like it. Like I think I could use a little more pink right here, there. Okay, going to finish out this guy here. And see how that did not go right up to the flower? You need to correct that. You don't want it to be, you want it to kind of embed in the flower, even if it's just a little bit. There. Okay. And then I'm going to take my green on my little teeny tiny brush, and I'm just going to, there. And then I'm going to get this brush, which is my my pointer, and I'm just going to go, and then I'll turn it around and come this way because I want the end to be sharp. If you do it and you paint towards yourself, your end won't be sharp like that. And then we have this section here where we're just going to do, oh, I need to be up here. Sorry. This section here where I'm just going to do a little bit on the dark there. I'm just using my pointer because it'll work. And then I'm going to pull it up. Okay, and then this little guy here, a little dark in here. Okay. All right, now the only other thing I have to do is sign my name. I haven't done that. I'm going to sign it on this side. This side is the back. This side is the front. This will fire much differently than it looks. And I do have to go around and kind of make sure I'm not out of line because I don't have a background on this. You want to make sure that you haven't pulled too much out. You know, like if it's over the edge, it's going to look unfinished. Oh, that's too heavy. So in that case, you just take your stump and that'll help. There we go. Okay, now I painted the top of this up here, and I'm going to paint around the bottom here because when I lay it down like this to fire, because it has to lay in my kiln, this part doesn't touch, and I think it would be nice to have the pink on there. And I do have to sign my name. So those are the only things left to do. I'm just going to look at this again and see if there's, I think this could use a little black there. Alrighty, and I think I want a little bit of there. Because it doesn't take much to finish off these. You just add a little blue. If you're not adding background, it makes a huge difference in completing your work. If you're adding background, then you can add shadow leaves, and there's a lot more you can do. I love the vase, and the dogwood looks pretty on it. Thanks for pick up those brushes, keep painting, and I will see you next time. Subscribe so that other people can learn more about China painting and we can get the word out to more people. So thank you again, and I'll see you next time.